people that are beautiful are considered average these days.
I'm always nitpicking at myself on a mental, physical, emotional aspect.
Young people, old people, everybody's going to be engaging in this practice, even men.
Oh yeah, we're seeing a lot of men getting into plastic surgery. Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. This is Tinuola, and if you're just seeing this hot chocolate for the first time, hey, you are welcome. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this video around, which is the plastic surgery versus natural beauty video. It's a debate and I just wanted to really chip into it because this is something similar to what I've discussed in my previous video about natural beauty aesthetic and maintenance, and where we actually draw the line. Like, where do we draw the line between getting things done medically or getting it done for cosmetic purposes? Where do we draw the line between this is actual natural beauty and this is natural beauty aesthetic? Where do we begin to draw the lines in all these things when there's so much cosmetic surgery coming up every single day and it's beginning to get more sophisticated? We are beginning to see a lot of trends around very realistic natural look in the cosmetic industry, not as dramatic as we used to see in the past. I think this debate is actually quite interesting. The first debate was on normalizing cosmetic surgery as we normalize makeup, and this doctor explained how it can be useful to start getting botox and some other procedures done in your 20s. That way you can reduce your early signs of aging. First of all, at 25, your collagen going off at 25 shouldn't really be a problem for most people, because at 25 they don't have so much wrinkles, they don't look that old. I feel like our comment is encouraging fear around people aging or getting a little bit of wrinkles on their face, smile wrinkles. All of that is normal, and when you're 25 or when you're even in your late 20s to 30s, you shouldn't be so scared of aging. But obviously this is the mindset that people are constantly spreading, which is putting a lot of pressure on young girls that, you know, they need to be afraid of aging. They need to aggressively prevent any signs of aging. Honestly, I feel like it shouldn't be so normalized, because we can't compare. You know, the surgeon is talking about putting some treatment on your face like a botox or a filler. It's not as dangerous as BBL, even though those procedures also carry certain risk. Like botox has less than 1% risk adverse effect. But when it comes to BBLs, that's a very invasive surgery. We need to be able to put some, I think, restrictions around these things. And, you know, when it comes to plastic surgeries, when you make it mainstream, everybody feels like they need to get it done. BBL in those days were marketed to moms, to celebrities, you know, moms with a lot of changes to their bodies after giving birth. But we know nowadays that it's not just moms that are getting BBL. We know that anybody right now, even as a teenager, if you want to get BBL done, you can get it done. It's become that accessible. And when you're supporting more accessibility of BBL, it's not really helping anyone, because it's beginning to feel like we're pushing too much of these standards to everyone. And where do we draw the line between medical surgery versus plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery? Where do we draw the line to, okay, this is someone that needs this thing to be done, and this is someone that just wants this procedure because, you know, today they feel insecure about their body, or tomorrow they saw a new TikTok trend? Where do we draw the line?
Who defines what natural is, right?
Thank you. Quick question. What is natural beauty? Because Dr. Nazaria's response is, when you walk into a room, no one should know you've had anything done. But what is it to you? That's a very good definition of what natural beauty is. Something that looks obviously natural on you. It doesn't look like there's been any sort of alteration. But that's also why I made the video regarding natural beauty versus natural beauty aesthetic, because people who do like this natural, very natural looking cosmetic surgeries and they just have this natural glow to them, it's a little bit confusing for people that actually have the actual natural beauty. Because even when you don't want to compare yourself, it's like, okay, how come I'm younger than you and I don't look as glown up as you look, even though you're way older than me? Like, when people don't communicate that they've gotten surgeries done or they've had plastic surgeries done, even though they don't owe us that explanation, but when they don't communicate it, people with the actual natural beauty will begin to feel like, oh, maybe they are not aging gracefully, or maybe their genes is not, or maybe they have genetic problems. You know, you begin to wonder why everyone is looking good and you're not looking good. And there's always going to be that pressure to want to meet up. But I agree with people that want to get certain cosmetic procedures done that look very natural. This is something I've talked about in my natural aesthetic video. It's better to go with procedures that complement your natural features and doesn't look too out of place on you. And this is what celebrities are currently doing right now. Is plastic surgery contributing to body insecurities?
So I have no problem in people getting plastic surgery. I have a problem in a culture that pushes the rhetoric that if you don't get certain things or don't have certain things, that there's something wrong with you.
And to add to that, I feel like when people talk about, let's not push these unrealistic beauty standards, I feel like people try to counter them by saying, oh, that means you're judging, you hate plastic surgery, or you don't like these people, you think you're better than them. It's not about that. I personally have gotten a cosmetic surgery done. I've shared about it before on this channel years ago. I used to have a big mole on my face and I had to go into a dermatologist's office to get it surgically taken out and sutured back. And I have my face now without my mole and I don't regret getting that mole out. Was it giving me any sort of health issues? No. But was it something I took out because of aesthetics? Yes, I mostly took it out because of aesthetics. But at the end of the day, I still retain my natural features. I still retain my natural look. And I know that that can come off a little bit judgmental to some people that say they want a very exaggerated look or they want a very dramatic look, or you can't tell people what they should look like. You can't tell people what they should do with their bodies. But at the end of the day, when something is becoming this mainstream and secular in our society and is really affecting a lot of people's self-esteem, really affecting a lot of women in terms of their safety, their health, a lot of these companies understand that. I think our government, pharmaceutical companies, medical professionals, I think they all understand this, this insecurity that is being created. But the thing is, a lot of these companies also feed on this insecurity. They make money. It's all about the moolah. Yes, some of them are going to say that they are helping lives and saving lives. And yes, I agree. This is really helping some people get that positive experience out of life. But when you don't regulate things like this, when you're not regulating them properly, and just anyone any day can wake up one day and say they want to change their nose, they want to change their face entirely, they want to, it's not okay, especially when they're teenagers. That's not okay. Once again, cosmetic surgeries for teenagers is unnecessary. If a teenager doesn't like her nose, she's feeling uncomfortable with it, she's crying, it's your job as a parent to instill some level of confidence in her and let her make that decision when she ages older, maybe when she's like 18 and independent, she can make that decision for herself if she wants to go through a permanent body alteration. But I get it. We're all different. We have different views, and it's just kind of sad to say. And it's just crazy to see how we quickly want to throw our kids under the knife to get surgeries done just because they're a little bit insecure about their body. They're still kids. Of course, everyone has insecurities.
I had 2 BBLs and 2 breast augmentations, and those are kind of like more dramatic. You can see I have plastic surgery, but the plastic surgery you can't see is what worries me the most. I'm a little afraid of aging, I'm not gonna lie. I like celebrities, they're like in their 40s or 50s, but they look 20, 30. Do I have to do all of these things and stick needles in my face to maintain my youth? That's what scares me the most.
Started getting work done around like 16, 17.
You were a baby.
Yeah, but the thing was that I was a dancer. I started doing botox, then I did a nose job, and then I did this. I shouldn't have been thinking about that at 18, Who's to blame for that?
I think part of who's to blame for that is capitalism.
I don't know that when I'm 50, what my face is going to look like and how I'm going to look in the mirror and how I'm going to perceive myself. But I would hope that I've fortified this sort of philosophical idea that I have about beauty so much that I won't feel the need to change myself in any way. Young people, old people, everybody's going to be engaging in this practice, even men, as we're seeing them sort of get into plastic surgery now as well.
Oh yeah, we're seeing a lot of men getting into plastic surgery. Honestly, I really respect our opinion on, wanting to age gracefully and accept our beauty in every form it comes. But I also know that not everyone's going to feel that same way. I personally think, you can get some work done. I'm not against plastic surgery or cosmetic surgery, but I think you need to always weigh out the risk. How much risk is it? What's the healing time like? For me, when I had my mole removed surgically, it wasn't like it was a cosmetic thing, but the risk wasn't that high and the healing process was also very short. So for me, that wasn't very risky. But when you're doing something more invasive like BBL or rhinoplasty and so on and so forth, those are more invasive surgeries that you need to really weigh the risk, if it's worth the risk.
You're erasing
the beauty that can be found within their natural
Solid points.
phenotypical expression.
Just so you know, though, in the plastic surgery world,
Yeah.
we have books on ethnic noses to keep people within their.
People being kept within their ethnical backgrounds when they go to surgeons for these procedures. In the reality of things, how much of that is being controlled, and how can you really control that when someone is coming to you to get a particular look done? How do you control telling them, if my nose was big as an African and I wanted a very chiseled small nose and I came to you as a surgeon, are you saying you're still going to let my nose remain big, or you just adjust it slightly? Like, how do you measure that? How do you really deliver a good service to your clients for them to be impressed with your work and help them stay within their ethnical features?
Just like respecting that person's anatomy and phenotype and just optimizing it for them.
That makes sense theoretically, but I just don't know how much of that is being applied practically. Everyone hates me for getting Botox done. Of course not.
Because I feel like if I was going to put it into perfect words, it's that I fall in and out of love with the way that I look on any given day.
Yeah.
And I think everybody experiences that.
Yeah.
But
Everyone experiences insecurity, definitely.
Going into myself to care more about being healthy and having health. I feel like that exudes beauty in a lot.
Wellness over aesthetic here.
The moments where you do not love yourself are not really founded in reality. There's just something that we're creating for ourselves, or society is creating, or social media is creating, that don't need to be listened to as much as we're listening to it currently.
We need to write that down. Honestly, she just preached right now. It doesn't have to be listened to as much as the society and social media is pushing it. Like, it doesn't have to be. Sometimes we feel insecurities, but we still feel sort of secured in ourselves. Like, it's okay, I have a little bit of insecurity here and there. I'm a normal human being, that's fine. But even when you are somewhat secured in yourself and you see that, you're constantly being offered all these things, you're constantly being told all these things that you need to fix, you're constantly being marketed to, you're constantly seeing people on social media all around, embracing this beauty standards and these cosmetic procedures. It's like, okay, you almost get tired, and it's like, okay, you kind of give into it. So it's like, how do we block out the noise? When you tell people do whatever with their bodies, you don't have to listen, but there's so much noise around this beauty standard. So how do we block the noise? How does, an average person get used to being average? The problem is we are not okay looking average. We always want to look better than the next person. We want to look like the most beautiful person in the room. Average is beautiful enough. People that are beautiful are considered average these days. We always want to shoot for unrealistic standards and unrealistic looks.
At the end of the day, it's all love. And like the whispers that we get that aren't love are not to be listened to.
I'm always nitpicking at myself on a mental, physical, emotional aspect.
Anyway, I think all these women look very beautiful, and I really appreciate, their take, their viewpoints. I also appreciate how, some of these women acknowledge their pretty privilege, their insecurity. It was very open conversation, but I think we need to have more of these conversations. And whatever you do, guys, please just ensure that you are going through the right routes, the right channels, the right education. I'm not here to judge you, but I also think it's very important for us to call out some of these unrealistic standards that we're setting for ourselves in the beauty industry, call it out for what it is, and to also normalize people looking average, because most beautiful people nowadays look average because we are constantly pushing for this higher and higher standard, and we don't know where we're getting ourselves to. We are beginning to look like aliens. Okay, that'll be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to comment down below, and I'll see you guys in this next video about high maintenance to be low maintenance. You'll enjoy it, but until then, keep shining. Bye. Check out this next video.